January 4th, 13 NHL games ahead of us here tonight, so we'll break down each of these that we've got best bets in, and we have a lot for you running through that, as well as look at some other games that we might have some other stuff in, but maybe there's injuries or information that we're waiting on. Maybe we're just not quite there with the market yet, but before we can get into any of that, I want to remind you that today, as always, is sponsored by BetStamp. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is by using multiple sports books and always getting the best odds. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp to help you do so. BetStamp compares odds across every sport, whether it's for games, futures, or player props. You can save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet. So download the app today. It is available on iOS, Android, as well as on the web. And if you are looking to sign up for a new sportsbook account, please check out the offers available at betstamp.app/edgework. That's betstamp.app/edgework. The link is in the description of the show here as well, so you can check that out. It does help support us. No bets last night. We only had the 2 games. Weren't really there on either of those. We stay away, so our record on the season remains at 159, 152, and 3 over 314 bets, 6.6% ROI. We'll look to continue the new year pretty strong here. But so money. Russ, how are you guys feeling heading into 2024? Ready to go? Ready to kick things off on the right foot here?
Yep.
Good man. Ready to roll.
All right, well, we do have a lot of games ahead of us, as I mentioned there, so we'll get into them right away. No wasting time here, and we will start with one of Moretto's 31 or 30, I guess, NHL teams. That would be probably the one I get at the top of his list, the Montreal Canadiens. Tonight they are hosting the Buffalo Sabres, and you see them plus 124. The Sabres coming in minus 130 right now, a total of 6.5. That would be juiced to the over. You see some minus 119s out there as it stands right now. Some plus money if you look around on the under 6.5. So, Money, how are you looking to approach this game tonight?
So this is Buffalo is a team that I do want to bet on moving forward. I think that um, they are a team that I wasn't as high as the market was coming into the season, but as the season has gone on, I think that they've kind of hit a market low here. So um, it going forward, it is a team I want to bet on, but um, the price right now, like it just goes to show that how low Montreal is seen in the market as well, right? Like I look at this Habs team. Besides their last game against Dallas, they've been playing well, right? They haven't always gotten the result, but but they have been playing well. And the games that they haven't played well in, it was in Dallas and in Florida, right? So and like those are two elite teams, and now they're playing against a they're stepping down in competition against a Buffalo team that they Buffalo should be better, but they're not getting the consistent goaltending. So right now at this number, it's a pass. But if Buffalo takes up any higher, if we can get Montreal at a plus 130, that is where I would be betting the Habs tonight.
Okay, so plus 124 right now, so not quite there within range. That would be on the sides. Now, Russ, you're looking at this one a little differently. You're looking towards the total.
Yeah, I do. I agree with pretty much everything so many said there. If I was looking at a side, I would lean towards the Habs here. But yeah, we're looking at the over 6.5. We played this right around minus 115 or so. So I think minus 120 is a fine number to play. Honestly, yeah, this is just two of the worst defensive teams in the league. I think that both of these teams are will be able to get goals tonight against what these defenses have trotted out all year. Montreal 25th in expected goals allowed, and Buffalo 27th. As so many hit upon, this Buffalo team has just had very bad goaltending recently. The last month or so, 27th in save percentage. And Montreal's been playing a little bit better, but been playing some very high event games there. They've hit the over in 5 of their last 6, and the total has gone over in 7 of their last 10 games for Montreal. And we've been on quite a few of those games. The Dallas game the other night that went over the total. We were on that one, and I think this is no different. This is probably a little bit short of where it should be. My numbers have north of 7 here. A little bit of a difference in Montembeau and Allen. I would prefer to see Montembeau here, as I believe Jake Allen is playing a little bit better this year. But with either goaltender, I think that, with both goaltenders, my numbers have north of 7. So I'm happy to play over 6.5, regardless of who we get in net, for both sides. I think it's 6.5 is a good bet here.
All right, so there you go. First bet of the day locked in. We're going to take the over 6.5 minus 119 in the Habs Sabres game here tonight. We'll recap all the picks at the very end of the night. We're probably going to have a lot of them, so it's going to be easy to get lost up if you're joining partway through, or if you're not keeping tabs on your own or tracking these down yourself. So we will recap all of these at the very end, so don't worry about that. But there you go. First one, over 6.5 minus 119 in the Sabres Habs game. As well, just a reminder to people right now, if you're watching the channel, if you're watching this show and you haven't hit the like button or subscribed, please do so. We've got about a quarter of the people who are watching the channel right now or watching this show who haven't hit the like button on the stream. And in general, when I look at the analytics, there's over 50% of the people who watch the show on a daily basis who aren't subscribed to the channel. We're giving this out for free. We're giving this information out for free, doing these breakdowns for free. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're getting awfully close to 2,000 here, so please hit that. We'll also keep some of these questions here for when they pop up throughout, but we'll get to each of these as well. If you do have questions, we'll answer them throughout the show. So first one here I do see in the chat, Crip Zombie asking, also appreciate this. Love the content, good gents, thank you. Especially love the future segment the other day. Have the Kraken made defensive adjustments recently, or is Decord just on a heater? Is this sustainable? Thanks. So Monty, Russ, either of you guys have an opinion on this question here in regards to Decord and the Kraken defensive adjustments?
I have a lot of money. I have a lot of opinions on Seattle.
And a lot of money. No.
Yeah. So yeah, so they have made defensive adjustments. Absolutely, I think that we're seeing it. We're seeing it in the metrics. We're seeing it ever since I believe middle of December. They no, sorry, not middle of December, early December. They There was a conscious effort within the organization that they're not getting the consistent goaltending. They're going to ride the hot hand, and they're going to they've made defensive adjustments. It's the team already wasn't able to score, so what they've done is they've embraced what they are, right? They're a team that wants to grind out the 2-1, 3-1 game, and that's the way that they're going to play. So, and we're seeing it bear out in the peripheral numbers as well. This is a team that plays very defensive now. They just don't give up much anymore, and now that's helped by a goaltending as well. They're finally getting consistent goaltending from the court. Whether or not it's sustainable, it's tough to say because, with all goaltending, it's just you just go with the hot hand and you just ride it as long as you can, right? Especially a guy like Decord who doesn't have the long-term pedigree that a lot of these other guys have. So I think that anything in the short term is sustainable. I'd be surprised if he leads them on a playoff run, for example, but I wouldn't be surprised if he continues this for the next couple of months, maybe even gets them into the playoffs, right? So, but yeah, to answer your question, there is a distinct difference in the way that this team is playing hockey right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, somebody nailed it. I was going to let him take that because I know he has a little bit of thoughts on this game later that we might get to, some action. But yeah, it's like you said, it's clear in the numbers, man. This team has just been playing great defense over the last month, which is about 15 games, which is what I like to look at for consistent form or recent form. They're second in expected goals allowed, and this is just behind an awesome defense and an awesome goaltender lately. In that same span, they're number one in save percentage in the entire NHL in the last 15 games. And Decord didn't start off the season very well, but this last month or so, he's been just playing absolutely awesome. And if you watched the show at the beginning of the year, this is a team I love to play under on because they can't score and they play great defense. I don't think I would do it tonight against the Sens, who's an over team for me in general. But yes, this is I think this is a good question, and obviously this guy's paying attention to what's been going on in the league lately. But yep, they've shifted their form. Dave Hackstall has them playing this very low event. Hopefully just grind out like a 2-1 win, and it's worked out for them. They've won 5 in a row. They've won they're 7-2-1 in their last 10. So obviously, honestly, they're playing very good hockey, and they're playing their style of hockey with a great defense and a pretty good goaltender. And when you combine those two things, you can get wins in this league. So I
Yeah.
think that was something great to bring up.
Yeah, and Alber here saying as well, I vouched for them yesterday, so should probably chime in that someone nailed it perfectly. His goaltending won't last, but they're second best in expected goals against last month. So there you go. There's your brief Kraken breakdown in terms of the defensive play. I know we've got game coming up here later on the schedule, so potentially get into that here as well. But before we do, we'll continue on in terms of the schedule of the night, and we'll now go to the Philadelphia Flyers Columbus Blue Jackets game. Philly hosting the Blue Jackets, minus 190 here for the Flyers tonight. You see Columbus plus 172 and a total right now of 6. You can see some 6.5s out there with plus money to the over, but those are pretty heavily juiced under on those ones. So money, what are your thoughts on where this side has kind of pushed out to at this point?
So I love the Flyers in general, right? Like I've liked this team a lot this year. There was always the concern that their play was going to be unsustainable, and we're seeing that play out now, right? Like as much as I liked them early in the season, especially at nice dog prices, look look at their market price right now, right? The market has caught up, right? And this is a situation where not only has the market caught up to the Flyers, but also they're not playing well right now either, right? Like um all their resiliency and forechecking, the good goaltending they were getting, the strong defensive play, we're seeing all that dip a bit, and that's that's expected for a young team, right? Like the way that they were playing, they came out in the season guns a blazing. It's really tough to play like that the whole season, especially when you're a youngish team in the league, right? So it's not surprising that we're seeing a Flyers swoon right now. On the other hand, you look at Columbus, right? Like it's it's really tough to back Columbus in any situation, but I do have an edge on Columbus, right? And I will bet them for half a unit. Um, Reason it's half is because there's a difference between me getting an edge in my numbers and me just playing that edge as and then contrast with me getting an edge again on my numbers, which I do every night against the Oilers, but I'm just not going to bet against the Oilers, right? Because that team is a powerhouse. Then in this situation, I do see um, a lot of concern popping up on the Flyers front. And even though I don't like Columbus, this is a situation where at the plus 172 or up or down to I should say plus 160 ish is where I'm showing an edge on Columbus. So um, I would only go half unit here though, just because it's Columbus.
So we'll get the plus 172 at for a half unit there. Now, if you are looking on the screen right now, you can see there's some plus 160s, like so many said it's good down to. But this is why you shop around. This is why you use BetStamp. And this is why you sign up at betstamp.app/edgework, because there's also plus 170s and 165s available. So don't go all the way down to plus 160 if you don't have to. Get the better numbers out there, even if they are on some different sports books that you don't have yet. You can sign up using betstamp.app/edgework. So half unit there, plus 172. Russ, what are your thoughts on this game? And I know you're big into the totals this season. You and Moretto could kind of combine here for Mr. Totals. Anything for the side or the total in this one?
Nope. I mean, so money and I share our sentiment on the Flyers this year. This is a team that I've bet on a ton, and most of the time it was at a plus money underdogs. And there's the popular saying that we bet numbers and not teams. This is a great example of that here. I was extremely surprised when I saw this number drift up to minus 190, minus 200 on Philadelphia. And it's very surprising, and just because they haven't been playing well at all, as so many said, they lost 5 of their last 6. But you're almost still selling high on this Flyers team. My numbers have them right around minus 160 ish, which is kind of where it started, even a little short of where it started. So I'm very surprised to see it drift out to minus 200. So I completely agree with so many here. It's not, it's not the most attractive bet, but when you show value and when you have an edge, you should play it probably. And then on the total, I'm right around 6.5 here. I show really no advantage. If anything, I would lean over, but this Flyers team has sort of been playing a little bit more low event, as so many said, they haven't gotten the goaltending that they have that they had at the beginning of the season. So this is a pass for me. Only thoughts are I do think this number on the Flyers is a little bit long at 190 or 200. So I agree with so many.
All right, so there you go. Half unit plus 170 there on the Blue Jackets for tonight's game. Now continue to move on. There are a bunch more games here, a bunch more bets that we have. And so, Money, you're going to take us into Boston, where the Bruins are minus 145 here, hosting the Penguins, a total of 6 right now. You can see some minus 105s to the over, minus 102, pretty fair across there, especially if you're shopping across some different books. What are your thoughts, side or total, in this game, so Money?
I've been high on Penguins all year. That's no secret. Sometimes it's been to my own detriment here, but again, this is another situation where I do show value on the Penguins, and I will be betting them. Couple of things here that stand out. Boston, they have won, what is it, 5 games? Yeah, they've won four games now. But I'm looking at my score for them, and I have them just 2-2 in those games where they are actually 4-0, right? So what that tells me is that this is a team that is getting results when they probably shouldn't. Um, I'm not going to come down too hard on a team like Boston that knows how to win, getting results when they shouldn't. Um, but what's concerning is that they haven't played well against a few of the weaker teams in the league. Right now, if I'm right about Penguins, we are stepping up in class here. If I'm wrong about the Penguins, the way that Boston is playing, I don't. In terms of offense and generating offense, I don't think they're in a position right now to take advantage of the Penguins' weakness, which is which is their defense, right? So because Boston's struggling generating offense, um, and the Penguins for the Penguins, they're fine. They've been playing well. They didn't get the result against Washington. That was just one of those games where you get behind early against a bad team, and like you just like it just happens, right? That's not something I'm gonna rag too much on them about. But yeah, so I do. I am on the Penguins. I've already bet them. I like them down to plus 121 ish.
Okay.
Yeah, we're seeing 130s in the market right now. So yeah, I have already bet the Penguins, and sorry, I just got. Yeah, that's where I am right now. I'm on the Penguins.
All right, full unit there, so Money.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I just
full
had a
unit.
pop up that came up, and I had to. It was a goaltending thing, so I had to take a
Oh,
look at
oh
it.
yeah, goal. It was a goaltending thing. It was a goaltending thing. Not any of the other pop-ups that could be coming up from cookies. Hey, so Money.
No, you won't see that here, man.
All
I'm
right,
very
all
careful.
right. All right. Plus 132 Pittsburgh Penguins here tonight against the Bruins. Russ, what are your thoughts on this game, and is there any way you might want to get involved?
Yep, I mean, so many kind of nailed it. We both have liked the Pens a little bit more than market, and it's paid off recently. They've been playing well. Unfortunately, I haven't been betting them just because I think I got a little bit burned at the beginning of the year. But yeah, they're playing well. 7-2-1 in their last 10, and just to put some of the numbers on the handicap that so money hit upon. With Pittsburgh, has a good offense and a middling defense, but Boston really shouldn't be the team that can take advantage of that defense. Last 15 games, last month or so, Pittsburgh is 6th in expected goals, and Boston's all the way down there at 24th in expected goals. And 17th in expected goals allowed for the Penguins. So I don't envision this, being a super high scoring game. I think this is something where Pittsburgh can kind of grind it out and hopefully get the better of them. You add in maybe the Bruins goaltending is probably a little bit better, certainly a little bit better. But then you add in this price, which is plus 130, plus 140 yesterday, and I certainly agree with the look here on the Penguins. So that's the way I would look. No play or no thoughts on the total here. But yeah, another game where I agree.
All right, well, let's head on into Dallas here, where the Stars are going to be hosting the Colorado Avalanche. Russ's Colorado Avalanche. You see Dallas minus 125, the Avalanche plus 115, a total of 6.5. You can find some minus 105s to the over there, plus money on the under right now. Russ, what are you thinking when you take a look at the side or the total in this one?
Yeah, the Avs have gotten some guys back, and they're actually playing a little bit better recently. 5-1 in their last 6 games, which makes me happy. But this is another look at two of the best offenses in the league and two goaltenders that have not been playing very well. I was very surprised to get this at plus money yesterday, but over 6.5 is the way we're going to look. We've been playing these Stars overs just constantly, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it is one of the things. Dallas has hit 11 of their last 13 overs, and including 10 in a row towards the over at home. Like I said, two of the best offensive teams in the league. I think that minus 105 is a great price on the over. I would certainly jump on that. I would play this all the way up to minus 115 or so. I think, my numbers have north of 7 here the majority of the time. Colorado second in goals. Dallas is fourth in goals. And then, like I said, Georgiev has been serviceable. He's been struggling a little bit lately with some of these high-scoring games, letting in quite a few goals. But then on the flip side, you get Scott Wedgwood, who is 78th in expected goals allowed. That's out of like 85, goaltenders in the league. So Dallas is struggling with their defense and their goaltending. Fortunately for Dallas, they can outscore their problems a lot of the time. When they put up 4 or 5 goals fairly consistently, and honestly, the same goes with the Avs. You saw that game against the Islanders last week when it was 4-4, and they got the win, fortunately. But these are two teams that are playing extremely high event games, and I think this should probably be a higher juiced 6. So I'm happy to play a cheap over 6.5 at minus 105 or minus 110. So that's the way I'm looking.
All right, so over 6.5, minus 105 there. So money. Any other way for you to approach this game?
No, I think over is the way to go. You look at the side here; both these teams are playing well. Right now, they're kind of a carbon copy of each other. They're both playing well. They're dipping a little bit on defense, and they're not getting consistent goaltending. I think that from Dallas's perspective, yeah, Mike in the chat there, like he's right. Wedgwood is not meant to play every other day, but they were in a situation where um, they're not in jeopardy of missing the playoffs. Ottinger is now day to day instead of week to week, so he is going to be back soon. This is one of those situations where Wedgwood is not meant to play every other day. You know that he's not going to carry the load. You're just trying to get by until Ottinger is back. So um, these teams are mirror images of each other, and I think that with the way that with the way that both of their trajectories are right now, like you just put the premium on the home team and you call it a day, right? So I think that's where we are on the side, and that's where we should be. And Russ is over. I don't have much to add there. I think he nailed it. It's over is the way to look here.
All right, so taking the over in that one. Now we head on out to Minnesota. The Wild hosting Tampa tonight, plus 115. Tampa Bay coming in minus 127. A total of 6 right now. So money. How are you kind of getting involved in this game here between the Wild and the Lightning tonight?
It's tough because the Wild are a team that I haven't been high on all year, and we're seeing they had their cute little new coach bump, right? And now we're seeing them back to back to where they should be, and it's a team that will get you some nice wins, especially at home. But they just struggle in general. I thought that I would be showing an edge on the Wild, but I need a little bit more here against a Tampa Bay team that um, Tampa Bay just can't get it together, right? And like it's not bad results or anything. They just haven't been playing well, right? And like you look at their last few games, those losses that they've suffered, they are well justified to be losing those games, right? So this is a situation where um, I don't think Tampa Bay has hit the market low yet because um, we're still seeing them demand that in the market right now in terms of their pricing. Whereas Minnesota, it's tough for me to get involved with them right now, especially with the way that they're playing. So in the end, all I will end up passing, even though this was a game where I could have possibly looked at Minnesota at home, but um, I will end up passing on this game.
Okay, so many passes. Russ, are you gonna pass on this game as well?
Yep, definitely a easy pass for me here. Yeah, just when I run a players model, I need to know the lineups. I need to know who's in, and as Insight says in the chat, both teams are beat up. I think that there's like 8 or 9 guys that are injured or questionable for the Wild. And then on the Tampa Bay side, you got two of their best defensemen out. They played with five defensemen last game. So yeah, this is an easy pass for me here. And honestly, these are two teams I'm kind of looking to fade over the next couple weeks or so. Minnesota's 30th in expected goals for. They just can't get anything going over the last month or so. So these are two teams I really don't want anything to do with. Played against the Lightning in their last game against Winnipeg, an easy winner, but then stupidly played on the Lightning against the Rangers. And they honestly were not close in either of those games. So a little bit shy of the Lightning, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lightning mess around and we're out of the playoff race or miss the playoffs here soon. So, and same with the Wild. This is a team I've played against all year, and they're finally coming back down after the coaches bump, and then they have all these injuries. So too much misinformation, too much uncertainty in this one. So easy pass for me.
All right. Now we'll continue to move on. Bunch of games left. Again, if people do have questions in the chat, please send them. We'll try to answer them as we go along in the show tonight or today, and as well as at the very end of the show. So you can continue to send those in here. Now we're gonna go to the next game. And that will be with the New York Islanders taking on the Arizona Coyotes in Arizona. Now, I talked about yesterday. We did New Year's resolutions. I don't know if you guys saw. I said gave a couple for each of the different teams. And I said for the Coyotes, my resolution, if I was in their organization, would be to not let the NHL ever let us leave the Arizona State University arena because of the way that this team plays in there and the atmosphere and the environment that they've going on. And yeah, we're seeing them here. So you can see some plus money on them at home tonight against the Islanders. A total of 6 right now, plus money on that over 6. You see some 5.5s out there as well. But Russ, go to you first here. What are your thoughts on where this total is coming in right now? And would you be interested in a side?
Yeah, I think we can play this for around half a unit. This is certainly not one of my favorite plays of the day, but I do show value, and especially at plus 100. So yeah, it's a little bit of a contrarian play, but I'll take that over 6 at plus 100. It looks like it is moving down a little bit, which is to be completely expected. Yeah, if you watched the show before, I love these Islanders overs. I've been playing them pretty much consistently the last month or so, and they have done very, very well. They're just a 22-14-1 to the over, and it's crazy. This is a completely different Islanders team than the last couple of years. They're playing very, very bad defense, and they're playing awesome, awesome offense. They can score at will, it seems like. And the Coyotes are a little bit of the opposite. They traditionally is a team I look to play on the under. They're getting some pretty solid goaltending. Connor Ingram has just been playing awesome, and I've talked about this before. He's burned me a couple different times, but again, this is a really bad defensive team. We're looking at the Islanders, who are 28th in expected goals allowed, and the Arizona Coyotes, who are 21st. And then if you look at the last 15 games, the last month or so, Arizona all the way down at 28th in expected goals allowed. So these are two bad defensive teams. Sort of looking at the over 2.5 for the Coyotes, but that's priced all the way up there at like minus 155, minus 160. I think that's a pretty good play. They could easily put in 4 goals against this bad Islanders defense, but I'd rather just take that cheap plus money over 6 and hope for one of the teams to get to 5 or so. So that's the way I'm going to go. I think half a unit is a fine play. I'm still kind of debating on my own if I will play this for a full unit or a half unit. But yeah, that's another over I like.
Okay, so the over 6 plus 100 in the Arizona Islanders game here. So money, we've got a play on the over. Are we gonna have a play on the side in this game too?
So the Coyotes are a team that we love around these parts. I know Russ loves them
Yes.
especially, right?
No.
Yeah, I mean, like it's you look at the pricing here, right? Like the Islanders, they're just a bad team, right? Like I think we need to accept that now with the Islanders. They don't play well defensively. They have trouble generating offense most nights, and when they do win, it's because they got the goaltending that they needed from Sorokin, and who hasn't been up to his standards this year either, right? So all those elements just make for a just not a good team. You look at the Coyotes. Um, Coyotes, they have been playing well. They had a bad game against Florida, but I mean, that's 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 against Florida. What's going on there, Zach?
Uh, I have this stream on in front of me. This guy's been going for 38 hours trying to hit a hole in one, and he just did it.
Oh
Uh,
wow!
nice job, Jerry.
Moretto's been messaging me in the background the whole time, and he just hit the hole in one. He's
Oh,
been on a
moment.
live
Take
camera
a
for
moment for
38
Jerry.
hours. Oh
that's
my
amazing.
God. Yeah, that's what Charles was asking about here in the chat too. Favorite Jerry After Dark moment. I've had this thing on. I can't believe you just hit it. Sorry so
No,
many.
no,
No,
we
that's
got to
awesome.
take a moment for our fellow streamers, content streamers.
No,
That's pretty
that's
cool.
great.
He has 90,000 people watching him and he hit it.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
All right.
I just saw your face. I was like, What am I missing here right now?"
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's pretty
That's,
cool. All right.
that's awesome.
Sorry, continue. Back to the back to the Islanders Coyotes game.
Yeah, so basically, right now at these prices, I have no play. I would like the Coyotes at a little bit more of a plus money. So plus 107, 108 is where I wanted the Coyotes. And for the Islanders, I wanted them down to minus 102, 103. So and the Coyotes are taking money right. Well, they were earlier, so I'll pass for now. But yeah, I do like that overlook.
All right, so there you go. We'll just take the over, pass on the side in this one. Now continue on. We got a couple more games, so if other people have questions here, please continue to send them. We'll try to answer them throughout, as we do only have a couple more best bets for tonight's games. Now, next we're gonna head out to to the Calgary game, where they're heading on the road to take on one of Moretto's other teams, the Nashville Predators here. Nashville minus 112, hosting Calgary plus 105. A total of 6.5 plus money on that one. You can see some sixes out there as well. So money, you passed on the last one. Are you going to be passing between the Preds and the Flames tonight?
Interesting game here in the sense that Nashville is a team that I'm generally not high on, but they have been playing well the last few games after kind of going on a dip there. However, we need to temper that with their last 3 games that they have played well in. It was against Detroit, Washington, and Chicago, right? Um, so I do knock them down on that basis. For Calgary, Calgary's been getting results. They've played better, and Markstrom has been better too. A lot more consistent lately. I do expect him to get the start. So this is a game where I do see an edge. I need the Flames at plus money. I think that we should be able to achieve that pretty pretty easily. We can get the plus money. I did play them earlier, and at plus money I'm on the Flames again.
Okay, so plus 105 there on the Flames. We'll take that. That is pretty. The plus money is pretty widely available right now as well. So definitely shop around, but you should be able to find that basically no matter where you're betting. It seems like if you're looking at the BetStamp screen. Now we're gonna grab the side in this. Russ, any thoughts on the total?
Nope, I think this is priced appropriately here. These are two teams that I have fairly close in the power rankings. You add in that maybe the goaltending advantage for surprisingly for the Flames here. Markstrom has just been playing great, and honestly, Husi Soros has not been playing very well this year. They've been getting results, but it has not been because of Soros. 66 in goals saved above expectation, which is not like him at all. Both these teams have been finding wins. Calgary is 5-2 in their last 7, and Nashville is fairly similar. But as somebody said, Nashville really hasn't played anybody, and the Flames are getting some good wins actually. So I think this is priced pretty close to where I would have it. Gun to my head, I would probably take the underdog in the plus money, but I think So Money summed it up well, and there's really nothing I can add. But I would lean towards the Flames here.
All right, well, 2 more games that we've got best bets in. And again, if you don't cover a game that you guys are looking at, please send it in the chat. We'll try to get to those as well. But next up, we're going to look at the Vegas Golden Knights, plus 103, hosting the Florida Panthers. Florida minus 113, a total of 6 right now. Russ, between the side, the total, where things are coming in from the market perspective at this point in time, how is it that you're looking to get involved?
Yep, shouldn't be any surprise here. Let's go ahead and lock in that over 6. It's moving all over the place. It's actually been taking money pretty much all day. I think that number at Pinnacle is a great number to take. I'd play this probably all the way up to minus 120-ish, and I would cut it off. I certainly would not take the over 6.5 if you can get 120 or better. This is kind of an interesting handicap and probably kind of a contrarian play. I know a lot of people are thinking, Stanley Cup rematch, Stanley Cup final rematch. It's going to be played kind of tight, going to be played to the under. But yeah, my numbers just have over 7 here the majority of the time. And one of these teams is a consistent over team for me in the Vegas Golden Knights, over in 9 of their last 12. And then the Panthers are traditionally an under team. They've gone under in quite a few, 9 of their last 10 games. But it seems like when they go out to the desert, go out to Vegas, it opens up a little more. The play opens up a little more. So this is a game I'm gonna hopefully we're gonna see like a 3-3, 3-3 tie in the third and get there easily. But again, they're very good defensive teams, but they're 2 of the best offensive teams in the league. Florida is 2nd in expected goals for in their last 15 games. Vegas is 5th in expected goals for. So this is maybe a little bit of a contrarian. Certainly, I don't like it as much as some of my other plays, but I still have over 7 in my numbers with Bobrovsky and Thompson in goal. So that's the way I'm going to go. I think we can play that for a full unit at the minus 116. I think that's a fine play. So that's the way I'm going. We're rooting for goals again.
All right, more goals here tonight. Locking another one over 6, minus 116 between Vegas and Florida. So money, is there any other way that you'd approach this game?
So in general, Florida is an under team, but Vegas is giving up a ton right now. They're just not playing well defensively. I still do give Vegas the benefit of the doubt, as I will give any cup winner the benefit of the doubt in their next regular season. So there's a lot of elements I see with Vegas that ordinarily would cause me concern, but because they're the cup champion, I'm going to overlook that a bit. It is starting to get to a point where I need to start looking more at Vegas as a team that not completely similar to Tampa Bay, but kind of in general that they're coasting, right? Which is fine, but there has to come a point where I need to see them. You can coast through all the shitty games you want, right? But there needs to come a point where you need to start getting up for the big games, right? And this would be classified as a big game. So even though Florida did take money in the market this morning, even though they are a powerhouse and not a team that I want to necessarily bet against, I am going to be watching this game closely because this is the kind of situation where um, if Vegas is just coasting and it's not a sign of any inherent problems with this team, they are going to show up for this game, right? So just like they showed up for that Kings game last week. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Vegas team that we get, and I need to answer that question for myself here, whether this is something that I need to be more concerned with Vegas about, or if I can continue giving them the benefit of the doubt as they progress through the regular season.
All right, makes sense. Now, this comment in the chat, we encourage all people to participate in the chat. This is just offside. I can't believe this came in. Charles saying, Moretto joining the Panthers wagon sucks. 99% of his teams lose. There's no need to do that, Charles. Like, you came in here and just taking jabs at Moretto. He's not even on the show today. That's gutless. That's gutless. I can't. What was that about? I gotta stick up for him. He's not here. Otherwise, there you go. 31 of 32 teams. Yeah, well, fair enough. All right, so there you go. Final game that we've got best bets in here tonight. We're gonna head on over to the Sens game, where the Sens are on the road taking on those Kraken that we discussed a little bit earlier. Seattle minus 122, Ottawa plus 114, and a total of 6.5. What are your thoughts on this game tonight, So Money?
So Seattle's such an interesting team for me, right? Like they cause me headaches, they cause me pain, but sometimes they also come through for me. So as 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 much as we talked up the Kraken earlier in the show, um, I think we're pretty caught up in terms of the market price on them now, and the Sens are the Sens are also in a situation now where um, they've hit market bottom, right? So I think that as bad as Ottawa is, this is a tough price for me to let go on the Sens here. So I did play the Sens earlier. I have them down to plus 112 that I like them. So where are we right now? We can get plus 114.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little tight right now. So I I do like the Sens, and this is one of those situations where it's not a knock against Seattle because as I as we were talking about earlier, they have changed their play. They are playing well. They are doing what they need to do, but the price in the market has also recognized that, and they've caught up to Seattle. So that's the reason why we're on Ottawa here.
Okay, so plus 112 is the cutoff point here, So Money?
We can do plus 110.
Okay, up to plus 110. So, for the sake of the show, especially because of the availability and of Pinnacle, we'll lock in plus 114 on this one. But you can go down to plus 110 out there, which is widely available. So, shop around, but down to plus 110. So, we'll do plus 114 there for the Ottawa Senators on the road against the Kraken tonight. Russ, we obviously talked about this team earlier. We've talked about the Sens bunch so far this season. Do you have any differing opinions here tonight, or is there any other way you've kind of go into this one looking to make a bet?
Not necessarily. I think this is like somebody said, this is a sell high spot on the Kraken after they've won a handful of games recently, drifting all the way out to minus 125, even minus 132 at Bet Rivers is crazy to me. I've got this right around Kraken minus 116, which is kind of where it started. So I've got no edge there. But, I agree in the logic here. You're just selling a team that's gotten super high and playing at a price that's a little bit off market, in my opinion. So as ugly as it is, as somebody said, and as bad as they have been, when you've got that edge, I think I agree. I would lean that way as well.
All right, well, that'll do it for all the games and the bets that we have so far tonight, the ones that we've locked in. Now, there are some other games that we haven't touched on, so somebody, I'll go to you first here. Is there anything else you're waiting on? You're not there yet? Injuries, information, whatever it may be, but you just haven't placed the bet. What other game, other with all the other games out there, is there anything else catching your eye right now?
Yeah, so I do have a bet in the under in the Canucks game.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so the under 6.5 there. I've touched on this with the Blues. They do want to play. They do want to play defensively, right? Like a lot of times they can't get there because their goaltending is inconsistent a lot of times. But um, that the Blues do profile in general as an under team for me. Canucks, yes, it's tough playing Canucks unders. I get it, right? But this is also a team that um, they do focus on playing. I don't want to say strong defensively, but more responsible defensively, right? And that's there is a difference between that, and like that's where I think that that you look at their defensive metrics. Um, they're not able to play strong 60 minutes of good defensive hockey, but again, the ultimate equalizer is Demko, right? Like he can he can mask a lot of deficiencies out there, and we've talked about this before, right? Like you play a lot of times based on how good your goaltender is, right? If
Mm-hmm.
I'm a defenseman, I am going to take more chances. If I'm a forward, I am going to cheat more. If I'm a coach, I'm okay with those things because my team is playing to our strengths, right? So I do like the under here. Just trying to see the market price. I think we can get them. We should be able to get up to minus 110 on the under. So 6.5 minus 110 up to minus 110 is where I have it.
All right. Well, I would say as well, this is a prime opportunity to shop around because, as somebody's saying, there's minus 110s out there, there's plus 100s, there's minus 101s, minus 105. So make sure you get the best of that number. So we'll lock in under 6.5 plus 100. But this is also why you stick around for the entire show. Don't just listen to me because, as I said, that was it for the best bets we had. I'm going off the list that's sent over ahead of the show, but things can change as the show goes on. So we may add as the show progresses. Now, Russ, any other games for you that you're looking at? You didn't have a best bet in, but maybe looking at or might add throughout the day.
Yeah, just to touch on, yes, I think there's something I am looking at, but just to touch on, I do like that under in the Canucks game. I think, both these teams, as the Canucks games have gone over recently, but St. Louis has been playing very low event games, and Bennington hasn't been playing that bad. And you're looking at two teams that are struggling to put goals in the net. Vancouver 28th in expected goals for the last 15, and St. Louis 27th in expected goals for. So I do think that is a low event game, and I lean that way. Definitely lean under at 6.5, especially at plus money. So I think that's a good look, and I'm glad we added that one. I think one thing I might be looking at, and I love this Kings team that seems like a little bit of a short price for them against a Detroit team who's playing very, very poorly. I was looking at minus 170 earlier. I think if you're playing a pick'em or even some sort of round robin, I would certainly have the Kings in there even at regulation. It's a little bit high for me to play, but I've got this number right around minus 200 honestly for the Kings. Which, oh wow, yeah, it looks like it is getting up there. That's crazy. So they've taken money since I've even just refreshed my app. I was looking at minus 175 earlier. But yeah, I love this Kings team. I think off of a loss, they're one of the best teams in the league. 28-5 in their last couple of years off of a loss. And Detroit is a team that I've been looking to fade the last few weeks. So I think that's an interesting look. It's a little bit too steep of a price for me to play right now, but if it, like I said, if you're looking to add or play all the games or something crazy like that, that's the way I would lean. But no, I think we pretty much nailed it, and we have tons of bets tonight. So
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We have a lot going on here tonight. So we'll recap all those. But final question I see, and I'll get to this. I know it's partially a joke, especially considering some of the looks that we've had here on the show, but it's worth asking. I might as well ask you guys. The Blackhawks are playing the Rangers. Blackhawks are plus 356 right now against the Rangers tonight. San Jose plus 217 against the Winnipeg Jets. But we're not looking at money lines right now. Charles Saul in the chat asking, is tonight the night the Sharks -1.5, Hawks -1.5 parlay gets home? Boys, talk me out of it. Tell me why I'm just pissing away money if I bet on this tonight.
Yeah.
Look, you probably are pissing away money, but it's fun, right? Like if you want to if you want to get in like a fun bet in there, I think it's fine. Like it's probably not going to win, but I mean, we got to have fun
Yeah.
again. Probably good. We have to have fun once in a while too.
Yeah, these are the ones that are that you live for. You sit there, you have this ticket in your hands, and wait all night. It's fun to have.
No, you need to go to the Tuesday show if you want shit like that.
yeah,
So
fair enough.
in all honesty, this Rangers team is a complete wagon, so I would lean towards not that one. And if you had to take one, I would certainly lean towards taking the Sharks of those two. I think you're going to get Brossoit in net for the Jets, and it seems like they're kind of due to surprise some people. But yeah, this isn't one I would touch with the 10-foot pole either of those games. So nope, you're asking the wrong crew here.
Yeah, some good comments in the chat. Insights 649 lottery has a 14 million to 1 chance. There you go. Jordan rather dunk on some pull tabs. So maybe not this one, but you know what? Maybe I'll take a look at it later on. That'll be, guys. This is the opportunity for me. If this one hits, I'll tweet it out ahead of time, and then I'm going tout after that. Like, I'm gone. That's it. I'm gonna be sitting in my R8 down in Miami, posting videos about me placing sports wagers. Why you shouldn't be following those cappers online. Follow me, pay for my picks.
Yeah, and then just edit the clip to show what So Money said, where it's a fun ticket, and then delete the part where I said. So it's just edited perfectly, and then we covered it all.
Yeah. All right. Recap all the picks for tonight for you, Matt. If the Blackhawks cover -1.5 tonight with Zach and Russ on their top line with Bedard, the Rangers are having a Herb Brooks led bag skate tonight. Yeah, I can see that. All right. Now recap all the picks that we gave out here today. We do have a lot, so stick with us here. These are full unit unless otherwise specified. And we're going to specify the first one by saying this is a half unit, and that'll be the Columbus Blue Jackets money line, plus 170 there. So half unit on that one. But now back to the full units. We're going to look at the Pittsburgh Penguins money line, plus 128. Then going to Montreal Buffalo, we're looking at the over 6.5, minus 119 there. The Avs Stars, over 6.5, minus 105. The Canucks Blues, under 6.5, plus 100. The Flames money line, plus 105. Then a half unit on the Islanders Coyotes over 6, plus 100. The Sens money line, plus 114, full unit there. And then finally, the Panthers Golden Knights over 6, minus 116. That is a lot of bets for tonight. You know what? Why don't we just sweep the board tonight, guys? Why don't we just go for a perfect night and roll into 2024 here with the Thursday show off to an incredible start. That would be a nice way to go about it. So I'm going to be sitting there tonight, keeping an eye on all of these as we sweep the board. So let's do it. Lots of games tonight. If you enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed the insight, if you enjoyed the picks, please make sure to like the stream here. Subscribe here to the channel. We do appreciate all the support, but we're continuing to try to build this thing up to 2,000 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer, so continue to hit that like button. Continue to subscribe to the channel. As Charles says there, if Jerry can hit the hole-in-one, the boys can sweep the board. Yep. Why not us?
Yep.
Why not us? So money, Russ. Thanks, guys, for taking the time to do this here this morning. Greatly appreciate it, as always. Look forward to seeing you guys back here for the show next Thursday. So money, we'll see you tomorrow. For everyone else in the chat, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Enjoy the games tonight. Good luck in your bets.